Welcome back to another episode of Turn Up the Mic. I'm Chris. To my right, I got Roy.
What's up? What's up? How you holding up, Chris?
I'm doing good. We're entering our winter season in San Antonio, so things are starting to
Mm,
get a little chilly.
Enjoy it for the week.
I hope it come and goes because they say it's gonna be over by Monday. I hope it's
Bro, I
over by
hate the way
Sunday.
on the winter part of it. We get a week of cold weather. That's about it.
I like it. Like most of the people I know, they hate the summer, but I love the summer. I just can't do winter because I feel like everything moves slower in the wintertime. Like you're all bundled up. I don't like it.
I mean, you can admit like the summer could be a little bit cooler, 10 degrees cooler. I'll take over the 100.
I take a 78.
I mean, yeah, that's perfect weather.
Yeah. So we got a lot of topics coming up. We got new music that dropped. We got Antonio Brown. We got some Le'Veon Bell comparisons. We got some pick'ems. And we got some UFC recaps and seeing how they fought in the middle of the day, high noon. Uh,
Man, can you imagine on the West Coast? I saw the thing West Coast, 11 a.m. Pacific time.
let me watch the fight with my breakfast.
Let me watch the
That don't make no sense. But yeah, with music, we got the new Ty Dolla Sign's album. It's featuring Ty Dolla Sign. What what did you think about it?
I wanted more features for it to be featuring Ty Dolla Sign.
It was so confusing for me.
It it that was the longest quick album all year.
3 minutes in, I'm on album on song 11. Like,
Yeah, but it felt
what are
like
we
it kept
doing?
going. Like
Yeah,
it kept going. Uh a lot of the songs just sounded like one song. Like it was just this kind of like the same thing over and over when it comes to just the style, the vibe of it, like even the content. It was a lot of the songs just felt like they were just together. It could have made one long ass song.
yeah. Tierra Whack dropped something like last year. It was similar. It was like 15 songs and it was like 15 minutes or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But with her project, it felt complete. Each song seemed like it was full, even though they were a little short.
Okay.
With this one, it was super rushed. I didn't really like majority of the songs. It was kind of confusing to me because it starts off with someone. I guess I don't know if they're in the room together having a conversation or if it's a voicemail, and he's like, "You working with other artists that you don't even need to be doing. You doing them a favor. It's basically a flex. He's like, you play instruments, all this stuff, and in my opinion, I think sets the tone of what you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole album of just Ty Dolla Sign showing I don't need these people. Instead, we got everybody featured on this album.
He had like a variety of people. I hate that he made half of them sound like him. The only standouts were like Anderson Paak, of course, because he's so like by himself in sound. No one sounds like him, his voice wise.
Yeah, that was the
Uh,
one. That was probably my favorite song. It was one with him, Kanye, and I think I forgot who the other person was, but they
did you
did a
see
very
on?
good song.
I was trying to put my finger in it, but then I remembered like when I was listening to the second time,
Thundercat. That's who it
oh yeah,
was.
the second song Kanye was featured on. He sample faded.
I may have picked it up.
It was the last song on the album, the one that was featuring Kanye.
Maybe.
So because it was like dun, 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 I was like, oh okay.
Yeah. Like
Like
it.
I knew it was a Kanye beat. I was like, where is that fucking from? And then,
Yeah. It
but I was
just
like,
it didn't really impress me. Um. Yeah, there was no like h- songs with him playing any instruments. It was just beats. He was in and out of the booth like he had to catch a flight. I don't know. I didn't really care too much for this album.
there's a couple. I mean, couple of songs. Spicy with Post Malone was good.
Hmm.
Let me
Post
see.
Malone definitely corners the market with that yodel thing.
Yeah,
Like,
the what's it called? Your Turn is the best. That was like towards the latter half of it. That one was probably my favorite off it.
I think,
That's pretty much it.
yeah, it was like 2 to 3 songs that I really liked on here.
Yeah.
It's like somebody telling you, "Hey, I do magic," and then proceeding to tell you a bunch of jokes and never doing the magic. Like, don't tell me you don't need all these other artists and then put them on your song. Like, you doing them a favor. It sound like they were doing you a favor. That was what stuck to me the most listening to this thing. It was just a big circle jerk. I didn't really like it.
What'd you think of the Kid Cudi feature?
He sounded like a couch potato. I didn't like it. It's like he recorded like he was slouching in a chair.
He's been popping up a little bit though, Kid Cudi.
Yeah. I thought he would take over the song. You know how like if you get a Travis Scott song, it's like a wrestler's intro. He has like that little don don, and then he has yeah, and he like makes
Yeah.
the whole song his own. I thought Kid Cudi would do something like that, but
Nah.
he was like, oh, you need a quick one, all right,
Let
and
me
he
see what
just
got in the bag.
dropped that off. So I gave this album a 2. It was my least favorite album. This is this a long sample it? Like what do you call this?
I don't know. Like,
Hybrid?
uh, I don't know. It's in what's it's in exactly an hour, or like 1 minute under an hour or
Yeah.
something like that. But it's what
It's about
45
it's
songs.
about 55 songs.
It's it went quick, man, and it's just I don't know. I think that's why a lot of the songs just blended together. It was
Yeah.
like that one time with Donovan. He's like, was it like 3 songs? We're
It
like,
was like
no, it was like 10 songs.
the Jaden Smith. He's like blue, and then it was the
He thought it was
B,
one
the
song.
L. He's like, wait,
That's different songs.
what's happening here?
That's kind of how this one was.
Yeah, I looked up. I'm like, did I miss some songs? How we get on 5 already? It's only been 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Production was nice, but
sure. Beach House, all of the Beach Houses beat this album.
yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know why he dropped this. He could have held on to this. And then calling it featuring Ty Dolla signs was weird.
that was a really good name.
Was it
Um,
though? Because they
but like you said, with that name, I expected more from him.
yeah
Like to branch out a little bit because when you feature somebody, you get someone else's style. So I thought that name could have been a little like a cue. I'm gonna do something different because I'm branching out.
yeah
Nah, it wasn't
no
it.
sir.
No, not today. Not today.
And then Joyner Lucas, he dropped Evolution. This is his second drop this year. He dropped another one like earlier.
What, ADHD, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he dropped that one in
that's the
March.
one with the black and white cover with his hands in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I forgot all about that. I
I
don't
did
remember
too.
any of the songs on there. But
I don't.
this is a good album. I liked it.
I liked it too. It was it was album of the week, not by far,
Yeah.
but it was. I really did like that he does. He had a lot of like conscious songs in there or like meaningful songs, but then he threw in some like flex songs and just some like good like hard hitting beats where like windows roll down.
Yeah.
Like that one we came into what Zim Zimmer.
Hmm.
That was right after that song. The was it Black Proud Black Woman or what was it?
Yeah, I skipped that song. I liked it, but I hate that repetitive flow where they keep saying like black, black, black,
Yeah,
black, but I don't like that.
but like what I mean from that is that he went from like a serious song meeting to like just like a flex, not a
Yeah.
flex song, but just a whatever song. I like that because sometimes it's hard for artists to carry a conscience album like the whole way through
Yeah.
unless it has like that concept. Zim Zimmer was one of my favorite. The was it the second song after the intro because the intro was a skit.
Hmm.
The second one was probably my favorite. What's it called? Evolution.
Yeah.
And I like that he didn't. He had like a different little style. That it was like that talk rap
Yeah.
because he did short cadences of him like doing it. He didn't really do double time at all at that song. So I like that one pretty good. What'd you think about the like the little skits throughout the whole thing?
I like the skits. Even though if it felt like he wanted this to be a concept album, but because of the skits to tie it together and it's
Hmm.
called Evolution, but I didn't really get like a whole concept of this album. Um the skits were cool. The teacher sounds thick but rude. So I don't know.
What's that called? A
Yeah.
snitch. Yes.
Say it one more time. I thought they were gonna jump that girl. I don't know. But overall the album itself, I gave it a 7. I think he really established himself as a multi-layered rapper with this, especially with this type of project, because he shows you, like you said, he can flex, and then also he
Yeah.
can drop songs with messages,
Mhm.
and then also even with his music videos, he directs them and puts them together, which is also dope.
Yeah.
So he definitely has that multi-talented type layer
I'm
with
really
him.
surprised when you said about like the what you say about the evolution, like the title of it.
Hmm.
I think the skits kind of put it together because he's talking about like being a kid, what they're told to do, like the type of dreams they have, and then where he is now,
Yeah.
his evolution to where he is now, and then
Yeah.
plus where he could be.
Yeah. And like little things about the dad,
Yeah,
like stuff like that kind of pulls it together, but overall I didn't really get like him starting in one point and ending at another, like the evolution concept of that, you know?
yeah,
But I did like the album. Those songs you mentioned
it was
were
good.
some of my favorite.
I
Um,
really like my favorite music one. Normally I don't have like one that just stands out musically.
mhm.
Taking out the lyrics was straight something. Um, I forgot what it's called. What straight like that?
Okay.
That's the one that he had the sax on it like throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was real mellow. That was cool. Like the way he
Yeah.
just put that on there.
I think I put that one on one of my playlists, but he had a lot of songs
Mm,
that got added to like
mm.
different playlists of mine.
And again, Rick Ross,
Yeah.
that boy got time. Like he's out there buying 100 acres.
Yeah.
He got a couple of wing stops. He's giving out free.
Like
He's giving
he
out
wrote this verse on the way to drop escrow. Like
right,
he's out here right now.
right. He's giving those features out there. That's cool though. And
Yeah.
he still hasn't given me a like just a crappy feature. His worst feature I've heard this year is probably the one he did on Russ's album,
Hmm.
and all of them have been at least expectations were exceeding.
I don't know if I remember that verse, but I remember that I didn't listen to Russ's
Sounded like
album.
he knew Russ was not black. Like like he's like, okay, I can't go too heavy. I
Yeah.
can't go too hard.
One of the things like listening to this album, it made me want to hear more songs with him and Chris Brown because I think they really make good songs together.
Mhm.
And then also like a Kendrick Lamar and him song. I don't think they've ever made a song together. That's one of the things that I think is missing from his resume.
I don't know. It got to be like pretty.
Either way, like he can go
Yeah,
conscious or he can go like rap flex, and I think they'd make a good song together.
it has to have that balance because if they both go conscious on that song, that's 10 minutes of a book. That's
I
just
don't
like
even know because
I don't know.
Kendrick has like those different tones and stuff, and then he can do the fast rap. It's not like they
Well,
mimic their
no, but no,
styles, you
but
know?
no, I'm not talking about like the styles. Them. I'm talking about even if they have their own no, their styles, but they both go conscious on a song.
Yeah,
That's just gonna be 10 minutes of just pure conscious. I'm gonna be thinking too much. I'm
I
like,
don't
I don't
know.
know.
I think it'll be
I
dope.
if they both do that, they just need a little flex
Yeah,
chorus.
yeah.
Change it up a little bit in the chorus.
I would like to hear that more than I like to hear like a Kendrick and J. Cole song together.
Kendrick and J. Cole. Mm, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm one of the few that I've never really been like an advocate of like J. Cole and Kendrick. I think it would be nice, but I don't think it's necessary.
I think that ship has sailed. People
Yeah.
were wanting it at a point and they didn't get it, so I think they moved on. People being me. I don't really care for Kendrick and
Well, I mean, is it
J. Cole
really?
verse.
I mean, it's more on Kendrick on this part. I mean, that food drops every blue moon.
Yeah. And also, I don't understand how Future was picked for the Black Panther album over Joyner Lucas. Like, how did he get on that song with Kendrick over Joyner Lucas? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Who who
It,
did that album again?
it was a Kendrick Lamar album.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I guess he had like creative control
Mm,
over it, but like the one with him and J Rock, and
yeah.
then Future, like Future didn't need to be there. Like, what are you doing? This is a Disney project.
You can say that a
La
lot
di
about
da di
Future
da.
though. You can say a lot
Yeah.
like a lot of his features. They don't add substance. They add the name. Like I don't know. You can add designer. It'll be the same
It's a Disney project, though. What are you doing? Why'd you say those things?
because he wants everyone to have a future, bro.
But those are some of the things I was listening. That crossed my mind while listening to a Joyner Lucas album. But I did like it. It was a little better than ADHD. I gave this one a 7. What did you give it?
They give this one a 7.
Okay, cool. And then you got Xavier Omar. If You
Mhm.
Feel, his album dropped. It's an R&B project. Did you like it?
I liked it a lot. It was really he had was it hold on 2 songs on there that made multiple playlists, different styles of
Mm,
playlists. Um, what I didn't like is that those two songs were like well, three songs were really stand out to me,
Yeah.
and the other ones just felt very average.
Okay.
The Find Me So Much More in Surf with yeah,
Masago,
that dude that
Masego,
does songs with what
Fresh
FKJ
Beats.
FKJ.
Yeah.
So those three songs were extremely stand out. The other song just seemed very average.
Okay.
That wasn't really great about it. So when I heard the first song, I was like, album of the week, like,
Yeah, that's
and
what I thought
and
too.
then
I
it
was
was
like,
just like,
sorry, Joyner.
yeah, and then it was just like, okay, like it's not bad, like,
It felt like he was doing a little experiment on this one. I
yeah,
know you say that about Jaden, like he's trying to find his sound,
yeah,
but like with this one, it sounded like he sampled a lot of different like
yeah,
things on this album. He
yeah.
had that Boys to Men, like
That '90s one that I
yeah.
told you, I'm like, this is a boys band,
I
like,
was like, shout out to Bruno Mars, I guess. And then he had Bon Iver. That was
yeah.
like a conscious song to me, so I added it to my
Well,
conscious
it
vibes.
reminded me of Bon Iver, the singer.
That's what I thought it was. What's his name? Is his name Bon Iver?
Yeah, but it's spelled different. It's spelled with I think
Not Bon Jovi?
no,
Are
there's
you
Bon
sure?
Iver. Yes. Bon Jovi is a singer,
I
but
know
there's
that's what I'm
another
like.
one
I'm like, did he just remix his name?
right here.
They're a band.
Yeah, but it's the voice is the one in Bon
Uh,
Iver. So that's what reminded me
I
of it,
learned
and it's
something new. I probably check out his mixtape.
but
But
Bon Jovi is good too. So
yeah, I know him. But I did like this album. He had a lot of good songs on here. He had some that were like but overall he did a good
I know
little
you
little
led
trot.
with R&B, but this is really like art like not your traditional R&B.
Yeah, so when I first played it, I was like, this is kind of like a not really, it's like a disco house R&B. Like, what is this? And then he switched it up again.
Yeah,
So it's a I would say it's more of a fusion. Like people
yeah.
don't really use fusion as their genre anymore, but this probably would pass as like a different type of
Well,
music.
he's not gonna be nominated because they wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, like what the fuck is this? You all over the place.
Where's the whatever category?
I don't understand.
But
But
that I think, but to me, that was like you said, finest sound. That's why there are some songs where that the songs actually that I didn't like were the songs that felt very traditional, like in
yeah,
the R&B sense,
yeah.
and those were the ones that weren't. And that didn't stand out to me.
So I gave this one, I think I gave this one a 6. I gave this one a 7. It's up there with the Joyner album, but I think the Joyner album was a little better.
I give this one a 6.
Okay. I do think he has a lot of growing to do.
Yeah,
Um but overall it
and
was
it
good.
sucks because when you hear an album like this, you see that they can be versatile and like he wants to grow in his music,
Yeah.
but it's like as a listener, I want him to grow in this direction,
Yeah.
but who knows what he likes?
It's
He
kind of
might grow in a different
it's
direction.
kind of like what's his name did? What's the guy with the red hair? Sings.
Red hair and
He
sings.
sings. He's I think he's London. He's not London. Do you know the guy Victor
You're not
with
talking
the
about Ed Sheeran, are you?
thank you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Ed Sheeran. He dropped
Clutch.
he thank you. I'm like phone a friend. He had dropped the album. I think I forgot what the name of it
You're talking
was.
about his most recent one?
No, I think it was before that, where every song was purposely different.
Okay.
It's kind of like that.
Because his last album was like an experimental album where he had every single track had a feature and he tried to do maybe it's the
Mm,
same thing
maybe we
because
are.
every single track was a feature and he tried to like change the sound. Was it the cover white and the words in black?
I don't know. I just pressed play, and it was like 6 years ago.
Was it 6 years ago? Then now we're not talking about the same thing.
I think it was
Go down.
the Division type
Where's the
song.
songs at?
The cover
I mean,
was
where's his albums at?
the cover.
Go down.
It wasn't number 6. It was I think it was the Division symbol.
I'm talking about that one. No, is that a song? Go
Yeah.
down.
So I think you're talking about number 6. Number 6
Maybe.
came out last year.
Okay, then
I think
yeah.
it was the Division one because that was the one where he said. I think he said this one where he wanted to be different every song, like a different
Because
vibe.
even on that one, and then I did number 6, he even had like a 21 collab. I think he had an X collab on there too.
Yeah. He
That
makes
was
good
just
music too. That's somebody that I like as well.
I like his cover of he did a Britney Spears acoustic cover.
I don't know about that,
So
Roy.
you don't like acoustic, so you know it's
Yeah,
not for
it
you.
was just the guitar, right? The
Yeah.
acoustic guitar, because you
Hmm.
do have like just
It was
I
just
guess
acoustic guitar.
acapella. I don't know. And then who else did I listen to? Well, I'm in the middle of listening to Future Utopia. Have you heard of them before?
No.
So I was listening to it earlier today. And when I say earlier today, I mean like 30 minutes before we started recording.
Recording.
It's a nice little album so far. It has Idris Elba on here. When I saw the features track list,
So is it like EDM?
no. It's listed as hip hop, but when I saw the Idris Elba feature, I thought it was going to
Hmm.
be like London people, but they're not. Their vibes remind me of like a Jaden
Is he
Smith.
produced or something? Because I just he's a DJ. I don't
He's
know.
rapping.
He's rapping.
He
I
was
haven't heard him rap.
Well, I had to cut it off because I was walking in, but he was talking.
I thought because he was playing. You like had
No,
to cut it off.
no, it was actually good. He was talking about fear and stuff, and I think he was about to rap or like
Like,
rap. But yeah, it's good so far. It's called 12 Questions, but it's 21 songs. Again, I don't know how that works. But I would definitely suggest checking it out. It has songs, you know how like Willow makes music,
yeah.
those type of beats. It's pretty interesting.
Well, for me, my favorite drop was Major Lazer.
I
It's very it's a very what's it called, a blend between, it's not like 100% EDM,
Yeah.
but the whole thing has EDM vibes, but because of the singing and all that, it gives you kind of like a pop feel to it. So if you're not 100% into EDM, this is a good album where it has both like streams in it.
So is Major Lazer like a DJ Khaled?
Well, Major Lazer actually produces all the beats.
So DJ, so what does DJ Khaled do?
Huh?
I say that to
He's the
say this.
glue. He's the glue.
He's
It's
an
that
intangibles
well,
guy. Like
I was gonna say that. Damn you.
like okay, I breathed on this track,
but
so it's
like,
mine.
but Major Lazer always comes through with features, bro. Like he has everyone on this album. He
The
has
last Major Lazer thing I heard was LSD.
French Montana. He has Nicki Minaj. He
Eh,
has what's it
who's
called?
hot
Jave
on there?
Bowen. I mean, Nicki Minaj is everywhere.
Is she hot though?
Her thing wasn't good. But you mean like her name? She's a big name,
Eh,
and so it was really good. I liked a lot. Diplo's on there.
okay, I probably listen
Um,
to that one.
French Montana's actually wasn't bad.
Is Sia on there?
Uh,
Because they did
no,
drop that collab together.
no, she's on here.
Uh,
Khaled's on here. But every song, since it's like EDM style, like every song has like
that bass,
four. No, every song has like four people.
interesting.
So
Is
it's
that
good.
like the recipe of a EDM?
Yeah,
What about the Waka Flocka EDM?
it was all right. This one's way better. This one's like mainstream EDM. If it's very mainstream
Okay.
because of all like like I said, the singing on it. Like
Is
you don't
that
have a lot of gaps where it's
i-
just music.
is that just the same thing as like electronic?
Yeah, EDM,
Just
electronic
more
dance music.
bass?
It's same thing. It's just the acronym. Electronic dance music,
Okay, I
EDM.
got you. Okay. So we're talking about the same thing then.
Yeah,
Okay. Why don't people just call it electron? Oh, I guess it's
that's a lot
longer.
longer.
You know?
A lot longer.
I'm
You
answering my
listen
own
to
questions.
electronic dance music?
I'm answering my own questions. Well, that's cool. I'll probably check it out. Probably sometime soon. I don't know.
Depends on what drops.
Yeah. But I really do like this Xavier Omar, and then I liked everybody actually except for Ty Dolla
Yeah.
Sign.
When you saw that, I was gonna message you. I'm like, bro, that's an old album from last week. But last week, my favorite drop was Omar Apollo.
Oh, okay.
That was that dude with the
Oh,
guitar.
okay. That you keep talking about.
Yeah, it was really good. So I was like, oh, but I've only discovered his music last week, so I thought the name was the same. I was like, oh no, this is different.
No.
But his album was good too.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody that dropped except for Ty Dolla Signs.
Yeah.
And then switching to sports. So I was coming in to say, where will Antonio Brown sign?
That was quick, bro.
Talk about a finesse. He didn't go to the Seahawks. Looks like he'll be signing with the Buccaneers. Does this put them in contention for Super Bowls, or do you think there's everybody's still the same?
Everyone's in the same standings. I need to see what he does on the field.
Do you think he'll make an impact? They're talking about him
So
like he's still competitive, you know?
I mean, competitive or good? Like
Like
mindset is
like
competitive.
they're talking about him like he's still Antonio Brown from the Steelers and
I
from
mean,
that one
to be fair,
Patriots game.
that's what they said about Gronk,
I don't remember
and
that.
he's
There was a lot of questions with Gronk though. He was coming off an injury. They were like his back's broken. Like he took a year off. There was a lot more
but he took a
questions.
lot of time off to be healthy, and it's.
I don't
I
think it's
mean,
the same though.
his last game was his best game. It looks like he's finding a little bit of a groove.
Yeah,
He had like 8 catches, a touchdown,
yeah, a
like
touchdown.
70 yards or something like that. Um, I don't know. I think Antonio Brown's gonna make an impact. Maybe the second half of this. Well, we're already in the second half, so I don't know.
The
Give
work's
give it
due.
give it a couple games, and then we'll go from there. They already have a good core already,
Yeah.
so I don't know how the coach is gonna put him in there because it's not like they signed him for number one.
Hmm.
Evans is the clear number one. I mean, he's a good receiver. So they just added a weapon.
Clear number one
Yeah.
until you see how Antonio Brown can perform. And do you think? I think he can finish out the season without any distractions.
I think so. The reason why he couldn't before because there was no time of reflection. Like he went from the Steelers to the Raiders to New England all in a year. There was no reflect. Like he's been out
A while
a while.
now.
So like there's been moments and all those social media on him, all the effects, especially after that video of him and his baby mama.
Yeah, farting in his
Um,
trainer's face or
or like yeah,
somebody.
like there's been a lot of stuff. So and the why I think that it's going to be better for him is because he was constantly in the news,
Hmm.
and then the news kind of got quiet about him because nothing was happening.
Yeah,
So
I think that's
we'll
one of
see.
the main reasons why I think he'll be able to finish out the season without any distractions.
Mhm.
Like you haven't heard any like crazy tweets or like any licks hit by him or nothing. Like
No,
he's been pretty content. So yeah, and he's back with Tom Brady. He's a man of his word. He did say he'd only come back if he plays with Tom Brady. So
Tom Brady did say he wants to play with him again.
they're playing with each other. They got what they want. So yeah, I think they'll be good. Do you do you think they're going to be number one in their division?
Nah, I've said before it's gonna be New Orleans.
You still got New Orleans.
Yeah,
I think they play tomorrow, right? They have a game coming up where they play. They no, I don't think it's. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean they play twice a year.
Yeah, but I don't know when the second game is. You should have just typed in Buccaneers.
I mean we're gonna talk about picks anyways.
Is it tomorrow?
Hold on, man.
It's not
No,
tomorrow.
tomorrow they play the Raiders, which is a good game too.
That's funny. Well, he's not gonna be there for that game. He's supposed to come back game 9 or something, right?
I think it's an 8 game suspension. After 6 games, he's able to sign. He can come back week 9.
So they've already said like what his punishment's gonna be.
He's serving it now. It's 8 games.
Okay. Okay. Cool. He's in jail. He's serving it right now. And then you have the other ex Steeler, Le'Veon Bell. Um, he's with Kansas City now. Do you think
Yeah.
he can reinvent himself there? Because he did say this is a chance for him to reinvent himself there.
Yes. Because for me, Bell has less questions than Antonio Brown. Bell,
Really?
I'm not questioning Bell's ability to play.
Hmm.
And AB, I want to see how he plays and stuff. He was off the field. He can be in shape, but is he in that football shape, contact sport shape?
He's probably
I know Bell is, but I feel like there's less questions on Bell. Bell's biggest thing for me is his mindset. Now, Bell hasn't had time to reflect like AB has when it comes to mindset.
yeah,
So they both have like their issues where I don't know where they're going to be at. Because I feel like AB might be a little bit better on mindset because he had the time already.
yeah,
Because Le'Veon Bell's literally going through what AB went through a couple years ago. He's on his third team now.
yeah,
And it's just like, where's the mindset at? But he's on a winning team now. That usually helps.
yeah. I think Le'Veon Bell has more questions than Antonio Brown does, because the questions when it came to Antonio Brown wasn't really performance. It was like, how's his mental? Can he not be a
Yeah.
distraction? With Le'Veon Bell, they're talking about is he past his prime? They're looking at his stats and they're looking at his stats dropping. taking into account that it is the Jets that he was playing with, but still, they're like, is he outside of that window of still being able to be effective on
I think
field?
he
You
will
know?
be. I think the Jets had a lot to do, and the mindset. He wasn't there. He said it multiple times. His mind wasn't there. And when your mind's not there, how does your performance?
Yeah.
Usually, your performance is lack thereof. So,
Yeah. So
but we'll see. But I think Bell has the biggest out of both. Bell has the biggest opportunity to make the biggest impact because
see,
he is the running back. So
yeah,
it's going to be easier for Bell to become the focal point compared to AB when there's already multiple good receivers.
yeah. I think Antonio Brown's gonna have the bigger impact versus
Who I think has the
Le'Veon Bell.
best opportunity, like because the running back compared to the wide receiver, that's the way I'm looking at. The running back can make the biggest impact.
Um, I'm going Antonio Brown still
Okay.
because they're gonna have so many things to like plan for. You have all these weapons now, so like
Mhm.
somebody's gonna be open. So I think Antonio Brown's gonna be more of an impact than Le'Veon Bell. And then we have the NFC East. How are you feeling about them, Roy?
The division is
Let's
trash.
start with the division.
The division's trash, but we still have Cowboys still right there to win the division.
So the Eagles at 2-4-1 have moved ahead of the Cowboys for first place in the NFC East after
Half a
beat.
game.
Let me finish. After beating the Giants, um, based on the rest of the schedule, do you think they're gonna keep that position, or do you think the Cowboys can knock them off?
I mean, I think Cowboys are gonna knock them off, especially this week. We play Washington,
I'm hearing rumblings that it might not be as easy.
so we play Washington this week, and I think Eagles this week. Um, they play. It's their bye week. No, they
Eagles
just played on Thursday, so their next game is against the Cowboys.
again. That was quick.
No,
When did they play them the first
no,
time?
Thursday's the start of the week.
When did they play the Cowboys though? It's not the
No,
first
they
time they're
haven't played
playing
the
them, right?
Cowboys yet.
Oh, this is their first time?
I hold on.
I could have swore they played them already. No,
Nope,
don't look like they did.
no.
Dang,
So
this season's going by quick. It felt like they just played them. That's wild. Okay, so the next game's against the Cowboys, and then the Cowboys currently got to play Washington.
mhm.
So you think the Cowboys will win both games, 2-0?
Yeah,
That was a long like. You had to think
I
about that.
have a good feeling about it. So after next week will be 4-3.
That would
Yeah,
be a good. That's a good record.
4-3, over 500, baby,
That's wild. So,
or 4-5. I don't know how many losses we have.
do
We
you
have too
think
many.
do you think the league should consider reshuffling how they decide who gets in the playoffs based on what we're looking at in that division?
They can't. I don't. It's always been like they can't because it's not fair to the teams. In the NBA, they can because every team plays every team. In the NFL, there's not enough games in the season for every team to play every team.
Hmm.
So it's not fair that if you get the hardest schedule and the easy schedule because you're not going to play every team like somebody like no one's going to play every team. So that's why it's based on your division. Your division plays the same teams that you do.
It's so dumb.
But
So
how you going to do it when you don't play 32 games a
so
year?
what if you do the top 14 teams,
The what?
the top 14 teams
14 teams?
with the
What?
best record,
The top what?
the top 14 teams with the best record,
How many teams? 14?
14?
Why would they take that many people to
How
the
many
place?
how many teams get in the playoffs each year?
You have 8, 10. It's going to be 12 now, I think, because they added the extra spot.
Okay, so instead of 14, how about the top 12 teams getting with the best divisional record?
They do the best divisional record right now. Each divisional champ goes to the playoffs.
So, what about the top 6 teams in the AFC?
You're talking about conference now.
Yeah. How
Okay.
about the top 6 in each conference?
You still don't play your whole conference.
What do you mean?
You play different conference. The only teams every year you play your division twice,
Mhm.
and then every year it switches what teams you play. You don't just play your conference; you play outside your conference.
So you think because of that, it's impossible to reshuffle it?
It's not fair compared to NBA. Every team plays
Oh
every
my
team.
god. Okay.
So do you think it's fair? Let's just say this:
Hmm.
the what do you call it? The Texans. They
Hmm.
probably had the hardest first quarter. They played Baltimore, I think played Kansas City, and they played like the Raiders.
Okay.
Compared to another
Which
team,
team? You said the
the
Texans?
Texans.
Okay.
So compared to a team that would say the Jets, Cowboys, and like Eagles,
Okay.
like where that swaying to them to make the playoffs compared to a different team.
What's the Texans? What are
They're one
their
and five.
what are their record? Oof. So do you think I don't understand what you're saying.
It's only fair if you're able to play every team like everyone, the same teams as everyone else, and that doesn't happen. But every team in your division, they play the same teams you do.
So do you think they should reshuffle the divisions?
How the worst divisions always switch. Some
Maybe
years you have worst division, some years it's in the AFC, some years in the NFC.
hmm,
It always switches on who has the worst division. It because each division they goes to ups and downs.
I
So
don't know.
asking you, how would you do it to be fair, where every team doesn't play the same people? The
Maybe
only
combine
teams
it?
that play the same people are in the ones in your division.
So you think they should add well, you can't really
I'm
add
not
more
thinking anything. I think
they can't
it's
really
the
add
best way
more.
to do it because that's the only way to do it. But that's why they added the extra playoff spot.
Mm. Because if you look at it, what's the point of the NFC East getting out of their division if clearly they're not getting out of the first round?
Because they won their division. I mean, you've had under 500 teams win their division before.
When
This
was
isn't the
that?
first time. You've had the Seahawks win. I think somebody's won with what 8-8. 8-8's won multiple times. You've had 7-9 win.
Oh no. I think we should revisit this a little later.
But how would you do it though?
That's like the best idea that I could come up with.
So it doesn't matter that you don't get to play every team. You get what you get. So even though you're scheduled to play all the top tier teams, it doesn't matter. That's the luck that you draw.
Yeah, maybe.
Nah, that's gonna be really swaying to like benefit certain teams only.
Uh, I don't know.
That's why they went by divisions.
Well, I don't think. I think the NFC East is a waste of time right now, looking at their schedule. So you're okay with that? Like going forward, nothing changes.
Yeah, because I don't see a better option. What's the better option?
Mm. Okay. Well, let me think about that. N-
Because you understand the point of being fair. Like their record is based on everyone in the NFC East or in every division. Those teams play the same teams that year.
I just think it's wild that, like, for example, maybe the Packers, they're like number two in the NFC North. They have a better record than the NFC East, but let's say the Eagles, if they win their division, they get out. And then the Packers, would they have to be a wild card or how would they get out? They just don't get out.
Well, wild card is purely based on best record in the conference.
Okay.
That's not a divisional winner.
So they just don't get out.
It depends on their record compared to the rest of the conference.
So even though the Packers, that let's say they have a better record than the Cowboys, who have a losing record, you think that's fair?
Yeah, because that's the structure. So in 2010, 7-9 Seattle went to the playoffs. In
10 years ago.
2014, 7-8 Panthers went to the playoffs. This
Mm-mm.
isn't the first time this is happening.
Do you think the Cowboys will be 7? They'll get 7 wins?
I don't know. I gotta look at it. Well, if I said they're gonna go 4-4 in the next two games, then I would say 7 wins isn't too far out
Oof.
because we still got to play divisional games, still more
Yeah.
divisional games. The thing is, it's hard to. I understand what you're saying, but there is no good solution because it's just not fair.
Mm.
It's only fair your competition is playing the same competition.
How they do it in like high school? You know, like different teams you'd end up playing, like that lived in different cities and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, how'd they pick those?
Because they first of all in high school you have your class 4A, 5A,
Mm-hmm.
and then they break it down to regions.
Okay.
So in your region, y'all play each other.
Okay.
So you can have a 5A school in Dallas and then a 5A school in San Antonio, but in San Antonio, you're playing San Antonio schools yearly,
Okay.
and then you can be the regional champs, and then you go on to state play. So it's the same concept.
Hmm. So you think you should change this to like season regionals, regional
That's
districts?
regional is just another word for for division. What are you talking about?
It just doesn't. I don't
That's the
know.
same concept. It's just division is called not region.
Uh, I don't know. I'm gonna
If you
think
look
about
at
it.
it, there are regions. That's all pretty much the same spot. Dallas is the only one that's off. They're all on the East Coast.
Yeah,
That's why it's NFC East. They're all regions basically.
we'll see. Well, let me think about it, and we'll visit this next week. I'll come up with a different way to shake things
The
up.
bad letter, Jerry.
Yeah, dear Mister.
Dear Mr. Jones.
And then you have your undefeated predictions. Who do you think is going to get their first L? The
Pittsburgh,
Seahawks, or let me finish. The Seahawks, or Steelers, or the Titans.
Pittsburgh.
Did you see who they were playing
Yeah, I follow the schedules closely.
for all the teams?
Yeah, fantasy football does that to me.
So you're forced. Okay,
And Pittsburgh plays the Titans, so one of them's getting it now.
you always do that. That's like a pick 'em. Let me see
You literally told me to pick which one.
who does the
You literally just said who's gonna lose.
who does the other team play?
Who? They
The
play the Cardinals.
Titans.
Titans play Pittsburgh, and Seahawks play Cardinals.
Mm,
So I think Pittsburgh's gonna get their first out.
Let me see.
I just told you.
I gotta see who's playing who.
The Hawks play the Cardinals, and Pittsburgh plays Titans.
All right, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh as
Damn.
well.
I
I
thought you
think
should go with the Hawks.
no, I don't. They almost had AB, so I can't. I can't do it. They're gonna be
If
playing
they
with
would
a
have had AB,
yeah. Then I would have had to think about something else. And then you have your pick'ems for the week: Bills versus Jets.
I don't know why that's a pick 'em, but I'm gonna go with Bills.
Okay, and
Who do you
then
got?
I'm gonna have to go with Bills. I believe in Josh Allen, and
Mhm.
the Bills are my divisional pick. And then you got Packers versus Titan or Texas.
Packers after the loss last week to Tampa and the way they lost. Um, Aaron Rodgers is gonna come hungry. He's gonna get that W.
Okay.
And Titans ain't a great team. I mean, the Texans ain't a great team either way.
And then you got Chargers
Well, who you
versus
got?
same. I had Chargers versus Jaguars.
I'm gonna go with That's the closest one. But I'm gonna go with Chargers.
Who did I pick? Yeah, I had the same thing. I had some reasons, but I don't think it really
What was the
matters.
reasons?
I think Justin Herbert he's been a baller lately, and even though their defense hasn't been the best, I think the
I don't know.
Jags are.
I don't know if you need a great defense for the
I
Jags.
think the Jags have been running on fumes, so it should be an easy, well, a good win for the
Should be a
Chargers.
good game.
Yeah, and then hey, wrapping up
I
real
was
quick.
thinking of the that movie, Dude, Where's My Car?
What do you mean? For
And
what?
then
Oh,
and then when he's in the what's it called? In the drive-through?
yeah.
No, and then
And then before we get to UFC, throwing in some NBA news, there's rumors of Chris Paul joining the Lakers. Do you think that works?
it's Chris Paul. He's very adaptable. It's gonna work, but I
Mm,
think it's unneeded.
adaptable
Yeah, he's unneeded. What system has he not worked in?
Rockets? I don't think he was adaptable
Ah,
there. He got
he
kicked.
did his job
He
in the
got kicked off the
Rockets.
team.
Harden just couldn't. Harden just needed another scorer like Westbrook, and it's still not even working. So I don't even know what we're
I
talking
can't
about.
really say it's not working. They got to the playoffs, and
They
then
got to the playoffs for Chris Paul.
what they got further than they did with Chris Paul. I thought they got
I
what
don't know.
second round,
I don't know,
and
but they
then
both got the playoffs.
but the point is Westbrook got the Rona, so that knocked off his game. The only thing that stopped him was the real
You're
flu.
sounding like somebody right now that's
So
pro Rockets.
all I'm doing is putting it in perspective. Like it wasn't like they were playing like on all
I
cylinders.
really hope it doesn't happen because that is to me that's like another. I wouldn't say L for LeBron. It's just it's not needed.
I don't think it's needed either. I think Rondo's a better choice and he's cheaper. I'll probably re-sign Rondo, and then I don't think like I think Chris Paul will probably come off the bench. I don't see Bron not playing point guard next year, so it doesn't. doesn't make sense. I think it makes sense for Rondo to be the point guard over Chris Paul coming in.
They're to me, it's just a simpler thing that Rondo's cheaper. They already went with him, and it's just Chris Paul's not needed.
And then do you keep Rondo? Because then they're gonna fight. Like he spit on him.
How long is Rondo's contract?
He was his. I think he has the other guy who hates everybody said. I think he was on a player option this year.
Has he picked
I
it
could
up?
have swore he had a 1 year deal though.
Did he pick it up?
I'm not sure. I didn't look.
Well, you can
that
have
far
a
into it.
1 year and then plus the player option on it.
I don't know if it was just a straight up 1 year because a lot of their players just have 1 year deals.
So that's what LeBron does.
Yeah,
Not in a bad thing.
From what I heard,
that's what he does.
yeah, they put everyone. It's LeBron that's cutting checks. And then, do you think after this season, Butler is a superstar?
Nah,
I would say he is.
I need another year. Consistency what makes you a superstar.
I think Jimmy Butler is a superstar who doesn't play like one. Like he can get you all. Like what do you drop 40?
Yeah,
He can get you 40, but if that's not what the team needs,
I mean this is the NBA. There's very few that can't get you 40.
what
When you try, you can get 40 in this NBA.
Jimmy Butler gets you a quality 40-point game when he needs to. But I think the fact that he plays for the team,
Is he top 5
top 5 what?
in the league?
No, I don't
Top
think
10?
so. Sure. I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
Where do you have him at top 10?
Let me see. Who would I put above Jimmy Butler?
He's not top 5.
I put him above Paul George.
Okay.
Is Paul George top 10?
No.
Oh.
Playoff P?
No. I put him above Paul George. I put him above Kyrie Irving.
Okay. So you have him at right at the after top 5 or towards the latter half to like 9, 8, 9, 10?
I put him maybe 10. I put him at the 10.
I don't know.
I think he is a superstar.
So if you have him at 10, then to me he's still borderline superstar for you too.
Not really. Like a superstar, there's you're at the gate. You're in the place. Like what are you talking about? I think he's a superstar.
If he delivers another, he doesn't even have to go to the Western Conference. He doesn't even have to go to the finals. If he has another season like this, then he's a superstar. It's just consistency.
I guess. I think I've seen enough out of him to see him. And how do you feel about what was the guy's name? They were calling him Jimmy Neutron.
I forgot who it was.
Damn, I forgot his name
I
too.
think that was Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson.
Oh, there you go.
I was wanting to call him the Tyler Hero for some reason.
Yeah.
Why would you tell people that? Like they were talking about,
bruh, he looked like sad, like he had Drake on in the back. He was just like, "You call me Jimmy Neutron."
He was like, they were calling me Jimmy Neutron, then they call him somebody else. He was like, which one is it? Like, stop talking.
That hurt.
It
like,
doesn't help.
And then all the comments are like, "They're not wrong."
Yeah, like then there was a meme with Jimmy Neutron's face on his body. I'm like, bro.
I mean, if they ever do a movie,
I'm like, bro, yeah, they're calling you that, but don't like confirm it.
Right.
But do you think you'll see the same type of game out of him or Tyler Hero next year?
Yeah, for being as young as they are, they're just going to be growing in their game. So I see good things from like a good core that Jimmy Butler can work with.
I don't see him dropping as many threes and being as effective as he was. This was probably his best season for a little bit.
You think so?
I think he's gonna cool off. Both of them.
What season is he in?
I don't know. I didn't know who he was until this season. So I have no idea.
I want to say it's like his second season. I think he came up like undrafted though.
Second or first, something like that.
He came out of, I might be wrong, Michigan State, right?
Because he was like one of the few rookies or something to play in the playoffs, something like that.
Oh, that was Tyler.
I thought he was too.
Oh, maybe.
I thought it was him and
Tyler was too.
But yeah, I'm surprised his 2K rating didn't go up. His hasn't dropped yet. And then
2K rating. Let me see.
His second year.
Yeah, it's his second year.
And then you got the 2K ratings. Some of them have been released. They got LeBron at a 98.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Giannis at 97.
Okay.
Harden at 96.
Mm-hmm.
It, it started getting a little dicey for me. KD's at 95.
Yeah.
Like not playing a whole season, you're still at 95.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Nothing took away from his rating.
The fact that he's injured, the fact that he's not playing,
I'm okay with that.
that didn't make sense. Steph, same. Dame Leonard, he's a 95. That's cool. Clay is a 89.
That was a little surprise they put Dame at 95.
Why?
I thought it'd been like a 93, 94.
He's a hooper. It ain't his fault. He don't got the cast. But Clay was an 89. I thought that was cool. Even with him being gone for the season, that still shows respect, you know? So I think that's a little more believable than KD being a 95. Like, bruh, you out hooped Butler and you didn't even play? What are we talking about? And then Luka was 94, Butler was 93, Tatum was 90, Kyrie's a 90. That's cool. Booker was 88. Donovan was 88. Trae Young. They just started handing out 88s at this point.
88 is that like turning point from like the good to the great players in the game. Like 88's that if you're under 88, you're like that not average, but you're not like on that list for the good.
That's funny because Paul George is at 88, and he said in an interview he's gonna get his 2K rating up. Like, bro, what are you focusing on this season? That's where your head's at.
Well, if his rating goes up, he's doing good. Like
you get a pay bump.
Luka started the season at 89, I think 88 or 89.
It's a video game,
and then now he's because they literally based off your stats.
Okay.
So and by the end of the season, he's at 94 now.
So how did they base it off of KD's stats?
That's why he didn't do anything to hurt them. So
okay,
it's retro. Retro pay. It's just.
It's so.
What was he last game? Was he last year?
95. Sure.
There you go.
Like that's so crazy.
Sure.
And then Jamal Murray was at 87. I thought he should have been a little higher based off his performance.
But you're talking about performance just in the playoffs.
How was he this whole season? I didn't really watch him.
He wasn't doing that the whole season.
Gobert was 87. He blocked the whole league this year. He should have been like a 92. Like, I don't understand why he was so low.
Let me see.
And then Zion was at 86. I think the Pelicans caused him to be at 86 the way that they managed his minutes.
19 to 20 season, right? I mean, the season we're in, he only averaged 18 points.
What was Paul George average? That looks very familiar. I know Paul George wasn't averaging.
So looking
25.
At that, you're basing off just playoffs.
So
Paul George averaged 21 and a half.
Oh boy. What? How do you
20 when you hit that 20 benchmark?
Okay, so what's more important, playoffs or regular season?
Those playoffs probably took.
In your opinion,
listen, those playoffs probably got him to the 87. He was probably like 85.
Okay, he drops 19 regular season,
18,
bumps up
18. Get it right.
What did Paul George drop? 6 in the playoffs?
Bro, I don't know if he dropped anything.
Like 6 and mental health awareness. Like what like is
they can't once Paul George knew what he was doing. Once he said mental health, they couldn't take points away. They couldn't take points away.
And then they started winning. He's like, I feel better. I'm so done. And then wrapping it up, Jaylen Brown was 86. Kemba Walker was 86. Kemba Walker was 86, same as Zion. Rudy Gobert was 87 though. Rudy Gobert also prevented the whole league from playing. That's like defense. That's like the best defense in the history of the game.
Kawhi's like, hey man, I need a break.
Like my hands ain't big enough.
Say less.
So yeah, that's your 2K ratings. They haven't dropped Kawhi's yet. Where do you think he's gonna be? Over or under 95?
Over.
He's gonna be. Where do you think his number is gonna be? He can't be 98.
No. Giannis was 97.
Yeah, I think he was.
I think he's gonna be 97 also.
What?
Why are they holding out his rating? What makes him different?
Because he's probably load man. He's taking the day off. His come late.
Like, why does his come out different? Are you sure they haven't gave
Yeah, from what I saw, Harden was a 96, but Giannis was a 97. That was weird. I thought Harden balled out this year.
Let me see. That doesn't make sense. They hold his out.
Well, they started dropping different players at different times, so this list was based on like everybody that they dropped recently. It's not out. Stop looking.
I see 46. Oh,
96.
What did I said? 97.
Yeah.
I was off by one.
Was he Harden's above him? Harden's 96. That's fair then. I don't have him better than Harden.
What would you rather have on your team, Harden or Kawhi?
I'd rather have Harden.
I'd rather have Kawhi.
Harden is a hooper.
I'd rather have Kawhi.
Why? What did he do?
I'd rather have Kawhi.
I guess. I definitely pick Harden. And then to wrap things up, UFC was today.
We literally mean the day.
Yeah.
It was
Habib played. He fought Justin Gaethje. Notice I didn't say Habib's last name. And Habib has won his what was his 29th fight.
29-0.
He's 29-0. He is number 2 among the most undefeated wins in UFC history.
Who's number 1?
Anderson Silva.
Okay.
Anderson Silva seems old now. The more like we talk about other fighters, after he won, he announced his retirement. I think he's really going to be retired.
I like how you missed that though, because you're like, he's talking too much. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I was.
And then I'm like, so you're retired? You're like, I don't know. I couldn't pay attention.
So I watched the fight at Dave and Buster's, and there's no volume. All I see is him talking. I'm like,
so
bro,
you had to read the captions.
There's no captions.
What?
They didn't have any captions. It's not a bar. They just fucking So he's like talking and talking. I'm like, what is he talking about? Is he calling out Conor? Is he talking about his next fight? Oh no, he's retiring. Okay. It's so crazy. So,
but
he's officially retired.
That's cool.
That's not cool. I want to see him fight Conor or Ferguson.
Who did Conor agree with again? To someone else?
Some Portier, I think. He fought him already though. That's not impressive. I'm not willing to see that. So
it's in Jerry's world though.
He wants it to be there. I don't think they confirmed it. So do you think he's gonna stay retired or do you think he's gonna come back?
I think right now he's gonna stay retired.
That's not an answer. Everybody stays retired right now.
Well, because I think that's his mindset. When you retire, your mindset's to stay retired.
Do you think he's gonna come back or not?
No.
So why'd you say right now?
I don't think so. Something might happen where he's gonna be like, you know what, I'm done. Let me beat up this fool.
I'm done. Let me come back. You're not done then.
Yeah. UFC fighters, they retire like artists. Like
that's just Conor.
It's just 5 years later.
John Jones too. Yeah. Okay, we can go down the list. I think this is gonna be the rare occasion where he actually stays retired. He doesn't come off as like one of those guys that he's like the Joker. You can't really do anything to him to make him do anything, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to come back. If he says he's retired, he's retired. And he said he took this fight because of his parents. So it's not like he wanted to really fight the guy. He just came back and smashed him. So I think he's going to stay retired.
How was the from what you could tell, how did the atmosphere feel like or seem like watching, like not at Dave and Buster's, but like where they were at?
Yeah, so I watched. Which one did I watch? I watched Justin's fight against Ferguson the last time that they fought, which was I think a few months ago, and I watched that on YouTube. So with that fight, you can hear it, like it sounds like an empty room. There's the announcers are having to like whisper. It kind of reminds me like a hybrid golf tournament, you know? Because they can't talk.
Amazing left.
Yeah, they can't talk too loud, and you can hear the hits and everything. It seems very violent because of the sound. But yeah, when they fight or when the fight's over, it's kind of like a letdown because there's not anybody yelling or any crowd noise or anything. So other than that, the fight is still pretty entertaining. It does feel like kind of an exhibition or like a spar because
of that,
there's no, all you hear is their trainers just yelling out stuff, which is weird because you can hear the other person's trainer saying to do stuff, so you can kind of like not block it or
trip them. What did they say?
Raise your leg, like, you know. But with this fight, it was pretty good. I expected Khabib to win with a strangulation. I thought he broke the guy's arm at first because he wasn't moving.
No, what'd you text me?
I was like, he's not moving.
Like, he's not moving. He's not moving. I'm like, oh. Okay.
It was weird. I thought he broke his arm or something. He apparently he passed out, and the judge or the referee didn't see it soon enough to like tell him
Call
to
it
get
off.
off him. So he just kept strangling him.
Well, I
It
mean, you
was
do it till the ref calls it.
like you got to be a monster. Like let up, ease up there. Like it's wild, but it was still an entertaining fight. You knew who was. You should have known who was gonna win. But you can tell Justin has some hits though. He has some power because when he was hitting Habib, he kind of stunned him a couple of times, and he does have a good kick. Like he really shatters legs. But other than those two things, that's not enough to like beat a wrestler. So yeah, that's how
Well,
that fight
let's
went.
see if he stays retired in UFC, man. They just keep cranking out these matches, man.
Yeah, I think it's definitely oversaturating. They're trying to get that Disney money back. I don't know who they signed with, but yeah, they're
think it's
definitely oversaturating it.
So going from UFC to Joe Rogan, that's a good little transition.
He wasn't there. I noticed that.
Kanye had
No, he
him-
was there. He was no.
Oh,
I don't know if he was at this fight, but he still does call fights. He's really
He
good.
dropped the Kanye West interview today. He dropped it like midday.
High noon.
High noon. I listen to Joe Rogan like when they do the his editor is really good about making like the 20-minute clips that has like a certain focus. So
Okay.
I rarely listen to one entirely. So I saw it. I was like, oh, because it started popping up on my feed everywhere. Complex, everyone posted it, and then like even a couple Facebook, they were doing live reactions to it.
Really?
Yeah,
That's weird.
according to the hip hop page and like college kid, they're doing live reactions to the whole thing. 4-hour live, but okay.
Yeah, 4-hour reaction videos seem kind of long.
It was good. I've only heard the first hour. That's all I had
Yeah.
time to hear. I had
You
to
said
come
there's
over here.
it's like a 5-hour.
It was it was two something. It was like 2:59, 2:30. It was two something. I watched the first hour because I had to leave. He talked a lot, but not entirely off topic. He has a lot of ideas, man, and it's like, how many of these ideas are you going to implement?
He's always had a lot of ideas, though.
He does, but the way he talks is that every idea he already has like the first step into it. He's like, I want to do this university. He's like, we bought the land. I want to do this. We already bought this. Like it's like he's doing 20 things at once, but he's actually has ground level steps that he's already completing at everything.
Okay.
So that's in myself. That is something with self-discipline. Just because you have 20 ideas, but you already have multiple steps in each idea, that takes a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they actually talk. He avoided one question, and
Was the Big Sean one?
no, it was about the after he said slavery was a choice, and you know
Really? He playing politician?
So well, no, Joe asked him.
Yeah.
So Joe asked because after that, you know, he got what's it called where they hold you for
Backlash?
like 48 hours. When you get evaluated and they give a medication. When you go to like a psych ward, they give like 72
Why are
hour
you
hold.
asking me this? I don't know.
I don't know what it's called. Okay, well, he was up for like 72 hours.
Okay. So you really did go?
Yeah. And they gave him medication. And then so Joe said, Joe says, I'm fucking crazy. He's like, I know this. He's like, but that allows me to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, why did you let them give you medication? Why did you take it? It wasn't forced. Why did you take it?
Yeah.
And he just completely avoided the whole question. He talked about.
So how was that close to the slavery was a choice thing?
Well, because first of all, they broke it down and what he meant. And the funny thing is,
Was that when they
Kanye,
took him to the psych ward?
Right
thing?
after.
Okay.
That,
okay.
Because they said that comment kind of turned things around.
Okay.
But Joe broke it down to what Kanye actually meant. Kanye didn't even do it, but he avoided that question. But he talked about basically what it sounded like is that for him to keep his family together, he had to do it.
He had to get evaluated. Is that what the
and
word
the
you're looking
medication is and all that?
for? Okay.
So that's what it sounded like. He was real cautious on like the way he said it.
Okay.
But what it sounded like he said is that if I wanted my family, I needed to do it. So I don't know if there's like a threat in there from Kim, like you take this pill, like
them damn Kardashian Jenners.
So, but it was like really interesting. He talked about his 400-acre land in Calabasas. About they were doing some farming and some other stuff, and he's like, I brought engineering. He wanted solar panels. I told him no. I don't. He's like, I don't like solar panels. He's like, I think that's not progressive. He's like, because we still got to manufacture stuff, and he's like, I don't like it. So he has water energy, like windmills and whatever.
Yeah, they use like
Yeah,
the what's
they use
that?
some.
The kinetic energy or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
So to me, like, so he likes the water energy and then like the wind, the turbine.
He
But
likes that.
but he doesn't like solar panel. He doesn't like solar energy.
Turbines are so huge though.
But he doesn't use it. He uses water energy, but he just prefers all that over solar energy.
I think solar is more progressive than turbines.
I agree so because water isn't accessible. It is in the middle of the country compared to
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
you're not by Los Angeles anymore or
Yeah.
Florida or Texas.
So he was talking about that and like all the steps he was doing, and he was talking. What was really interesting is that he talked about he wasn't gonna do rap on the album. Do you remember the second album? Was it Jesus is Born or something?
Jesus is King.
No, the second album, the one with the Sunday service choir, where it's just them singing.
That wasn't his.
Yeah, but that one's called Jesus is Born.
Sure.
It's whatever it's called.
Yeah.
He said that was the original concept because he didn't felt like he should rap on it.
Okay.
But he said that his pastor's son said, "Man, I would love to hear you rap on this stuff," and that's why he
He's
did
like, say less.
say less. I had it ready. So, but he did a lot of stuff, and it's stuff that I don't know. Like, I don't care to fact check, but he's like,
Yeah.
when I started the Sunday service choir, he's like, I wasn't saved. I did it because I felt like I needed to. He's like, and most people don't know. He's like, I paid their salaries. He's like, I consider it like as my thought as my tithe because
I don't
they're delivering the messages. And he's like, it wasn't till like 5-6 months in that I actually got saved, and I was doing all this learning before I even knew if I wanted to get saved or not.
I would assume that he would pay their salary because they're part of his group, essentially.
Mhm.
So I don't know why people would think someone else
But
paid
he's
him.
not. But the way he explained it, they weren't compared to like a previous tour. Everyone part of production team, he was bringing in income based on the tour, the sales, and all that. That
Yeah.
wasn't happening here. It was just a choir he got
Yeah,
together.
They just hired him.
Yeah. So, but he started talking about how when he did his last tour, he just wasn't in it. He's like, I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do anything. He's like, I was done. He's like, I was tired of everything.
Yeah.
So, but it's good. I mean, I'm an hour in. I'm gonna finish it up and see what else he says. I've heard some quotes from people that I want to hear the context of it because they're gonna take everything out of context.
Yeah, a little bit. I thought he got saved when he did Jesus Walks because he said he let the water wash over his Caesar.
No, but yeah, Joe brought it up, and he's like, I grew up in a religious home, but he's like any high school or anyone, like I abandoned it.
Okay. Yeah.
He was honest about that, leaving it.
Yeah. I don't know if I check it out, but
you might do snippets.
Yeah, let me know how it goes because I'm still on the fence with should I believe him? Should I not believe him? Is this a trick? Is he sucking you in just so he can slap you in the face again?
He's saying stuff to make him believe. Like, there's no reason for him to say, I don't like solar panels. Like,
not even the solar panels.
But I'm like, that seems authentic because it's
a preference.
Yeah, and then avoiding the question on why he took the medication when Joe flat out told him, why'd you let them do it?
Yeah,
that tells me it was more authentic answer because he didn't give some bullshit answer.
Yeah, like I just don't want to watch it being like, ah, damn, Kanye's being vulnerable.
They talked about his rambling. Joe brought it up.
Yeah,
Joe's like, I don't think you're rambling.
Of course not, Joe. But yeah, before we wrap up, Roy has some stuff to run down to you.
What are we doing? Bulk supplements. Can we get that closer?
Yeah. Bulk.
I didn't read
bulk
my
supplements.
I didn't bring my reading glasses. What is this?
You have
bulk
on
supplements.
Glasses.
5% off your first purchase. Promo code Pub Sports at checkout at bulksupplements.com. mybookie.ag. What is that? Chris, get what? Get $50 down.
Bro, you can't read.
I can't read the second one. Read the second one.
What are you talking about?
mybookie.ag.
Get 50% down deposit. Match with the minimum $100 deposit. Promo code Pub Sports. Let me finish this off. Gambling website. Bet on the NFL, MLB, NBA, and more. Check
bet on
them
the
out.
Cowboys. They're gonna be under the prediction.
Hush, you can't read.
Under.
But yeah, where can people check us out at, Roy? I know you got that
Spotify,
memorized.
Apple Podcasts. Shout out to all the people that listen to on Spotify and Apple. You know, we're really growing a base on there. But also don't forget to check out YouTube, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want to talk about.
Yeah, and it don't matter where you listen to that. We appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Turn Up the Mic. You have a good one.